Leadership teams who have transformed million-dollar businesses into billion-dollar businesses have not been typically led by one founder or CEO. They've been led by a pair, a dynamic duo like Hewlett and Packard. Today, Endo Pharmaceuticals has transformed into a billion-dollar business by becoming the leader in pain management. The new dynamic duo, Marianne McDonald and Carol Ammon, have a very unique story. Welcome, Marianne and Carol.
Thank you.
Carol, Endo was founded in the 1920s, but is that the real story?
I think it's the beginning of a really marvelous journey for what will become Endo Pharmaceuticals. It's a company that was formed as a family, and it was bought by DuPont in 1969 as their entree into pharmaceuticals. And little by little, it morphed itself into a cardiovascular and ultimately an AIDS-focused company, moving away from pain management. It was fully consolidated in 1983, and the Endo name went away at that point, and the entity became DuPont Pharmaceuticals. Eventually, it went into a joint venture with the Merck company, and it became the DuPont Merck Pharmaceutical Company. We had the opportunity in 1996 to begin the journey to purchase assets from DuPont that would form the foundation of a pain management company. Because the Endo name had such tremendous equity in the marketplace, we purchased the name as well and recreated Endo Laboratories as Endo Pharmaceuticals.
Carol, that's really interesting. Most businesses get invented through a breakthrough idea. You were sitting there with a huge market opportunity with an innovation and an invention that had already been made. And two teams had tried it twice before. This had not become a billion-dollar business, so what was your big aha?
This was an opportunity really to take a number of assets that had excellent brand equity, recreate them, so to speak, and use them as a foundation to build a new company focused in the area of pain management. So it had all the ingredients for potential success: great brand equity, excellent cash flow. And so it was just a matter of really putting the right people around you to be able to build this company.
When I've interviewed many CEOs to turn a million-dollar business into a billion-dollar business, they often describe it as 10% good idea, 90% perspiration. And I understand the first thing you did was reach out to Marianne.
I did. I knew we had a great opportunity here, but the opportunity would only be as strong as the people we put around this. I had known Marianne forever, and if I was ever going to do a business like this, I wouldn't have done it without her. I remember going to her office and saying, look, here's the opportunity, Marianne. We can quit our jobs, we can go ahead and go into debt, and we can borrow hundreds of millions of dollars, and we can create a new company. What do you think? She said, count me in. I said, well, you might want to think about this. You might want to go home, discuss it with your family. There's risk involved here. She said, no, I'm in. And that was just wonderful news for me.
So it is possible to believe you can turn a million-dollar business into a billion-dollar business.
Well, I think that at the beginning, for me, I was in a very different situation. There was no fear or risk for me, and I had just come off breast cancer. I just finished chemo. I went through one of the biggest challenges of my life, and if I could get through that, this was absolutely no problem for me to do this. So when Carol asked me, that's why I looked at her, I said, I'm in, because there was no risk for me. I was still here, and I was happy to be here. So I was going to be with my best friend working. Absolutely. There was absolutely never any thoughts in my mind that we couldn't be successful.
Marianne and Carol, thank you for sharing your unique story on how Endo transformed into a billion-dollar business. It is possible to turn a million-dollar business into a billion-dollar business, but it takes a pair. It takes a dynamic duo.